Okay, Rosella. Hey, welcome to the after show, the chill out area where we're having a couple of conversations. Thank you ever so much for joining us. The first question I have for everybody that's sitting down with me is a really easy one. Who are you? Why are you here? What did you come to say? So just tell us about your job, who you are.
Of course, first of all, thank you for hosting me and giving me this opportunity. My name is Rosella Risso. I work at CNH, and in CNH I am responsible for after sales. So I'm the global VP for Aftermarket, parts and service, and as well I have a second responsibility for customer and dealer experience in the after sales journey. So very close.
Yeah,
the two roles.
Yeah. And they align very, very well. And
Exactly.
I really enjoyed your presentation earlier, and I think one of the things that often doesn't get enough addressed in these discussions is that chain, especially in the dealership level. And when we talk about aftermarket, when we look at certain companies like yourselves in your space or even in the automotive space, the dealership was really, really important. And it was really interesting to see how you mapped out these rules. I really like that graphic. I'll make sure we get it. I'll put it on the show because I really like that graphic that just had that kind of continuous circle. I believe that's absolutely spot on. The one thing I'd like to ask as a starting point, you had the presentation mapped out, so you had a good idea of what you were going to say. Now, what was the message that you wanted? We've got 50 service leaders here, senior guys and girls. What was it that you wanted to take away? What that you wanted them to take away? What was fun?
It's a good question because I thought a lot about it, and as you said, I said, what can I bring that they don't know already? What can I bring that is not going to be, okay, we all share the same challenges, okay, but so what? So at the end, what I wanted to bring was the vision of the servitization journey applied to an agricultural player. Because I said, what makes me different is the fact that I'm in a playground, which is agriculture, which talks a lot in favor of sustainability, productivity, but there is a big piece which is coupling servitization with digitalization. So my idea was, how do I jot down, how do I envision the journey for my company in the servitization area, which has some common aspects versus all the other peers or other players in the industry, what is peculiar, which is of course the bundling of the technology with the iron and with the fact that through this you can improve, of course, the productivity of the machine, but the sustainability as well of your working environment, of your field.
A slight question on this, just very specific to your industry, actually. But I'll broadly have as well. We talk about servitization there, and one of the things that I've seen in many different is certain industries are more adapt to it than others. Your industry, it sells, John Deere has gone down this route as well, for example, other organisations. Do you think that for those that are watching, because one of the things we're trying to do with these conversations is we have this exclusive group, 50 service, and we want to try and share some of these great insights. Do you think that the same models can be applied to any industry, or do you think that we have to take vertical nuance?
I think the same model can apply despite some step. If you take the journey until peer-to-peer servitization, I think this can apply from also. From the starting point, the baseline of reactive, until the ultimate goal, which is for me the peer-to-peers, this applies for everyone, whatever the industry. In the middle, we do have some steps that, of course, depends if you are a machine manufacturer or not. Like, for instance, moving through the different steps, predictive, plan maintenance, all the different steps that require that you also have a machine that gives you some information and some signals, like I was talking before, with the ultimate case of the machine that is telling yourself, hey, I'm down, I have a breakdown. Exactly, I'm broken. This, of course, cannot apply to all the industry, but I would say the starting point and the landing point can fit whatever industry.
Yeah, and it is that example, isn't it? Of the Nirvana is the machine that says, I'm broken, and I'm going to get this guy to fix me, and I'm going to send the parts already in advance. And that's kind of where we're moving to, and it's scary how quickly we're getting there.
Exactly.
One of the things that I mentioned in my kind of reflections, something that I've given a lot of thought to, you talk about kind of getting to this kind of the outcome-based layer.
Yeah.
And I think that we need to by getting to that, we fix all of the other bits. But I still kind of strongly resist that all of our customers are going to want us to move to outcome-based, especially somewhere like Aftermarket, where they've probably got their own, many clients will have their own engineers, or will just want that, do it for me, or do it with me, or let me do it, that approach. How important is customer selection when it comes to how we push out these service-sized buildings?
I think everything is around the customer. So in our company, we work around what we call the Focus 5, which is, let's say, our main goals, our main targets and accomplishments, and the customer is in the center. Because everything that we do, we have to move from a perspective of somebody said it, internal development and placing the product in the market to the customer. The other way around, pull the strategy from the customer information, the customer needs. Clearly, being a business to business, this customer segmentation and know your customer is a challenge, because everything we do is through, of course, our partners, our dealers. Despite this business model, this is key. Always the customer is the starting point. We try to understand what is the true customer experience of the farmer in the field, needing this type of support, this type of technology and assets, and then, let's say, mapping the customer journey throughout. I mean, we are a very big organization, but the customer journey is one customer journey. And if I in step 1 or step 10 of the process, nobody cares. The only point is that for the customer, his machine, his experience, his breakdown, or his positive or negative experience. So mapping the customer journey, knowing the customer as starting base, and then going down reverse to understand all the actions that you have to put in place, which are the enablers, which is, as I said before, technology, iron, support, servitization, especially for the after sales piece.
Yeah, and it's fascinating because that echoes exactly what I was saying at that last point. You know, so much has changed in terms of technology. Yeah, at the same time, the fundamentals, where I always refer back to Peter Drucker. He wrote that book, like, the art of management. Well, I probably got that wrong. It's a long day. But the book I'm referring to, most of us do. That was in the 70s, and it was this outside-in methodology that is exactly inherent what we're talking about. I just want to change that ever so slightly to the last couple of quick questions.
Yeah.
Because you came prepared with a great presentation, and you, if I may say, you personally and CNH as an organisation, you've got the knowledge and the insight and the maturity of the development of the service strategies. Clearly, you stood there on stage and gave a fantastic presentation. You understand this stuff yourself, inside and out. But we've been surrounded by great thinkers today. What was the one thing that you would want to share with your team? What was the one thing that you would want to share with the guys that are watching this? You would say, this is the insight that I walked away.
There have been so many interesting and nice insights that, of course, one of the ideas is after this session to debrief and put it on paper, but apart the joke.
Oh, we've done it for you. You just tell the video, we'll give you the video.
It's perfect, it's easy, so we have all this. But I would say, for sure, the important thing for me is, let's say, somehow to use the farmers and also the players that are here as assets that, let's say, help you in your journey. I mean, we had a lot of discussion about the make or buy. It's not so important for me, the make or buy, when it is about service. It's only to get the partner that really is helping you, knowing your processes, benchmarking the competition, and telling you, again, a little bit like what I told you in terms of customer, we would be the customer of these players, giving me the right recipe for my industry, for my positioning, for my brand, and for my customer. So I think it's a little bit the switch between standard make or buy or hybrid. It's more the partnership with who has the knowledge, who has the solution, not the tool. I don't care about the tool. I need somebody. Exactly.
We're moving away, and it's really interesting. Do you know what? I hear this more often from organisations that have gone down a servitization route. They understand that you have, with your customers, shifted away from transactional based.
Exactly.
There will be some customers that still want that, but that goes back to that point. But the concept is broken down, and then we start stepping into ecosystem.
Exactly.
And ecosystem thinking, and that's how we look at our partners. Fantastic. The very final question I have for you is just very, very simple. We've had great discussions today. My final wrap up. My point was that it is the discussion that makes this a very, very special event. But that's my point. And I'm biased. I have the brand on my name.
You are labeled.
So I'd love to understand from your point of view what makes this a special event.
I think that the dynamics of the format, because it's very successful, because you have the opportunity to meet the people. During the round table, you already understand where you can get the right insights, you want to deep dive, you want to get some better information. then you have the networking where you can truly talk to the people, then you have the panel discussion. So for me, the format is the success.
Excellent.
Again, of course, it goes back to the people, but if you don't have the right format, if you have the right people, it's not bringing value.
Yes, and we bring the right people with the right format to allow for those discussions. I think that's perhaps the smartest thing that the team did here was to take the ego of the conference away and let the people communicate.
Yeah, exactly.
Rosella, perfecto, muchas gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you ever so much. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.